Hey, what's up guys, Bajheera here. So for this video, I'm going to be going over the different specs that I use for my Arms Warrior for PvE and PvP, as well as showing you my artifact weapon talents, and even some PvP talents as well. Look at this Stormforged Valorjar photobombing my video. Come on now, bro. Anyway, let's start it up. So a lot of people have been asking me about what I chose in terms of talents and artifact traits. And I guess the one thing that doesn't really change very much is the artifact traits. I made a video about this earlier, but I'll go ahead and show it to you again. So for my artifact traits, first of all, you start at Warbreaker. The first thing that I did was I went to the top left through Thoradin's Might, and then I went for the Slam talents, Will of the First King. And this talent is awesome. Obviously, the Golden Dragon, the major traits are all good. But the real thing that I was looking for was Exploit the Weakness. Tactician's chance to trigger is increased as if you spend 30% more rage. That is the business. This thing is so nice, especially in PvP or PvE, no matter what. Having extra Colossus Smash and Mortal Strike reset procs is awesome. The fact that they hit for more damage, and have an increased chance to crit from Shadow Defenses is awesome. But I definitely want to go top left first. Once I got this talent, I'm actually going to go back the other way through Tactical Advance, through Precise Strikes, to get Corrupted Blood of Zakaj, which makes your Battle Cry do extra damage, extra shadow damage, which is obviously great for PvE and PvP. After that, the choice is yours, but I'm going to go down and grab extra damage for Colossus Smash, probably swing down here. I might pick up Void Cleave, just makes you do a little bit more AoE damage, and AoE damage is one of those areas that Arms Warriors are lacking, at least for the Focused Rage build that I'm playing. But if you really wanted to heal first, or you really wanted to make use of the defensive measures, you could just swing down here. But I'm going to go ahead and take the long way around to get a little bit extra damage before I actually spec into defensives. Because Arms Warrior is not a very defensively powerful class. It's going to be a class where you are, it's a big surprise here, as a warrior, right? You are going to want to have a healer to have your back when you're doing PvP. But, so instead of focusing on trying to shore up the weaknesses that we have with not very strong shoring up, I'm just going to go ahead and do what we do even better, which is deal 100 bazillion points of damage all the time. So that's what I'm going to do. Going to go that way. But the main thing that I want you guys to know is go top left first, and then swing back around for Corrupted Blood of Zakaj, and then do whatever you want to do after that. But anyway, for your actual build, your actual talent build, for PvE, I recommend the Focused Rage build right now. The Focused Rage build pretty much looks like this. I think, now, before I tell you my talents, as always, disclaimer, you guys pick talents that you think are fun. Pick talents that give you a rotation, a play style that you enjoy. What I'm showing you guys right now is my recommendation of what I've used and what I've enjoyed, but by all means, take whatever information, take whatever advice that I give you, and filter that through the sieve of what you want to do, okay? So, anyway, I like Dauntless a lot. I think Dauntless affects every stage of your PvE encounters. It works really, really well with the Tactician idea. And what this build is supposed to do, this Focused Rage build, is give you as many 3-stack Focused Rage Mortal Strikes as possible with Colossus Smash up. That is, people ask me how to play this build. That's how you do it. That's the overarching principle in terms of your actual rotation. That's going to be up to you to optimize that. You can slam a little bit, but don't slam too much. And it might feel weird for a while just sitting there pressing Focused Rage and nothing else. But if you can get Colossus Smash, 3-stack Mortal Strikes out, that's going to be dealing the most damage that you can. Now, I have Shockwaves spec'd right now. I would probably even recommend going double time in PvE. But right now we're just doing dungeons, and a lot of times it's nice to have an extra Shockwave to CC all the mobs. Take some damage off your tank, take some damage off the raid. But when you're actually raiding, I think Shockwave might be, a little bit unnecessary, and you want to go for double time for more mobility and more damage, since you're getting more rage from charging. For me, I love Avatar. The burst from Avatar is super nice. I've heard some people like some of these talents too, but I prefer Avatar. Once again, choose what you want. Second Wind. Second Wind is kind of a strange choice. It's probably mostly just for like questing and stuff. In a raid, Bounding Stride might give you more mobility. I don't know if you might use Defensive Stance in a raid, like a small defensive cooldown that you could use, perhaps. But right now I'm just using Second Wind just because I like to be able to regen between fights and just world questing or whatever. But Focus Rage, obviously, with a Focus Rage build, that's what you want to use. It's going to make your Mortal Strike do 50% increased damage, stacking up to 3 times. This ability is off the global cooldown, so you can macro it in things if you want to. I do recommend having a separate bind for Focus Rage that's unmacroed. I'm not going to go over my macros a whole lot. I already made a 7.0 Arms Warrior guide that goes over a lot of them. But basically, all you're going to want to have for this is Focus Rage unbound. You're going to want to have, or Focus Rage bound on its own, I mean. Slam bound on its own. And then a macro that does Slam, Focus Rage, and Hamstring. And you spam that while you have, I call it Deadly Calm now because of the talent, Battle Cry up. Because, well, obviously, you want to use save globals for Colossus Smash Mortal Strike if you can. But aside from that, you're going to want to spam that Slam, Hamstring, Focus Rage macro to try to generate Colossus Smash and Mortal Strike reset procs. So that's the bread and butter of this spec, obviously. Deadly Calm, of course, goes really well with what I was just saying. Makes all your abilities free during Battle Cry, so you can really spam a lot of rage and try to get those resets if you're having a hard time, or just crank out a ton of damage for free in terms of the rage cost of it. I love Deadly Calm. I use this pretty much like for everything. Trauma and Titanic might have their uses, but I love Deadly Calm too much. Also, for PvE, Anger Management is really, really nice. It makes your cooldown on Battle Cry shorter, depending on how much rage you're spending. And as Focused Rage, you're going to be spending a lot of rage. You're going to be pressing Focused Rage every chance that you get, basically, to try to make sure those Mortal Strikes are fully stacked every time you use them. And having Deadly Calm, I mean, Battle Cry is great. The guaranteed crit is awesome, but having Deadly Calm come back up more often, too, just makes this such a powerful combo. Because Deadly Calm really enhances the power of your Battle Cry cooldown. And then Anger Management just makes it come back up faster. So, really, really, really nice for PvE. I guess as like a small aside, Opportunity Strikes is kind of fun with Focus Rage. Is kind of fun as a world PvP spec because Opportunity Strikes is really, really powerful for PvP. I like it a lot. But Focus Rage seems to be unnerfed in world PvP. One of the reasons why Focus Rage isn't used as often in PvP is because instead of increasing your Mortal Strike damage by 50%, it's only 20%. Still kind of a cool ability that might have uses in PvP in terms of just spending maximal rage that I'll talk about in a little bit. But I like Opportunity Strikes. Focused Rage for World PvP. Just check that combo out. It's really funny. The burst is insane. And World PvP is kind of supposed to be broken, but this combo works really well together in World PvP. But transitioning from PvE to World PvP, you could probably even throw in some overpower. World PvP is kind of a really kind of strange spec. Well, I'll just tell you guys what my actual PvP spec is, which is more like this. For PvP, I tend to take talents like this. I love overpower for PvP. Would definitely recommend it. It allows you to attack through Rogue's evasion, allows you to attack through Demon Hunter's evasion talent kind of thing. It allows you to attack through Warrior's parry. It's just a super nice ability that hits hard and goes through a lot of defensives and does not cost very much rage either and procs really often. So super awesome ability for PvP. For PvP, I do think that having a stun is good, whether you want Shockwave or Stormbolt. I'd recommend it. Once again, for PvP, Avatar, having more burst is amazing. I mean, bursting people down, like doing more damage, AoE damage just in general, with like Fervor of Battle or Rend, can look nice on the charts, but bursting someone down is what actually scores, like, you know, kills on players, and that's what counts, I think. So Avatar is awesome. For PvP, D-Stance is very, very nice. You know, Second Wind it is a nice heal, but it's only when you've been out of combat for a long time, so you either have to run away, which you can do sometimes, to heal, but a lot of times you're just going to be battling it out. Hopefully you have, you know, healers with you if you're getting yourself set up for success in PvP. So mostly defensive stance that just reduces the damage that you take is really, really important. And the penalty on your damage is only 10%, which is, you know, significant, but not that much, you know. Being dead means that you deal no damage, so, you know, having defense stance is going to be helpful. Bounding Stride, kind of cool for PvP, just not necessarily what I would pick. I like D-Stance the most. Now, Mortal Combo for PvP is really, really nice. It also synergizes really well with the other talents that we're taking. So, imagine a target, you know, you've chipped away at them, your cooldowns are coming up, they're about half health. So, what you're going to do is you're going to you're going to stun them, pop all your cooldowns, and then start spamming start spamming Mortal Strikes as much as possible. And, you know, obviously during a Colossus Smash window or during your artifact weapon window. While you have Colossus Smash up, you're going to deal more damage. But with Deadly Calm and spamming Mortal Strike with Hamstring, you're going to be giving yourself a lot of chances to reset the cooldown of Colossus Smash and Mortal Strike. So, obviously, if you get Colossus Smash procs, use them. but that burst is just like, it's going to blast somebody. And if you've seen even my earlier BG videos that I've been posting at 110, you can see this action in action, basically. So, Colossus Smash with, you know, Deadly Calm, Battle Cry up, Mortal Combo, Mortal Strike spamming with Hamstring. In addition, obviously, to Blood of Zakaj and Shadow Defenses, if you're able to get the Colossus Smash resets as well, you're going to deal a ton of damage. And with Opportunity Strikes, if they're low health, you're going to see Mortal Strikes hitting, you're going to see Hamstrings hitting, and you're going to see Opportunity Strikes hitting. And people are just going to melt, in addition to the Corrupted Blood of Zakaj hitting. So you do a bazillion damage, and I'll have PvP videos to show about that as well. But this is probably my favorite PvP spec. And you can choose any spec really for World PvP, but you know, mixing and matching some of your talents, like Mortal Combo is probably good in World PvP too, but Focus Rage is just really fun for the burst. I still would recommend Overpower for World PvP, just because Overpower is a really good PvP talent no matter what. Dauntless is kind of cute, but if you're going to try to kill players, Overpower is the way to go, I think. But anyway, I'm going to go back to my PvE build, just because I'm probably going to be doing PvE more recently, or, you know, sooner than PvP. But right now, I can go over Honor Talents as well. I have not been doing a lot of PvP, so I only have like one tier. I think all the PvP talents have their place as well. But my favorite ones, at least for an Orc, is going to be Relentless. Adaptation I haven't experimented with it very much yet, but it seems like it could be fun. I think Relentless with Orc is really, really fun because you're already taking, you know, a whole lot of reduction from stuns just from your racial talent. This is going to make all stuns basically half on you instantly, and all CC on you reduced by 25%, which is nice. But if you still want to Trinket, go Gladiator's Medallion. For Orcs, I mean, for melee, I would either choose increased health or Sparring. Sparring is really effective against other melee. So if you're fighting melee and you anticipate getting attacked, go ahead and go Sparring. Makes a big difference. I think that for this next talent tier, I love Death Sentence. The Charge Execute is so nice. I mean, take what you can, depending on what honor level you are, but I think Death Sentence is my favorite. I love Rage Machine. Now, these two are cool. Spell Reflection, obviously, you know, it's a kind of a warrior ability that we've all grown to love over the years, but it's a talent now. So choose it if you want it, but I love Rage Machine. The increased rage generation is so nice for a warrior, especially because the more rage you gain, the more rage you can spend, the greater chance you have to reset your Colossus Smash and Mortal Strike cooldowns. We know how powerful that is. We've been talking about that the entire video, so very important. Intercept, it is a powerful defensive. I mean, it does take all the melee and range attacks against whatever your target is for 10 seconds. So that's kind of a big deal. But I might just be selfish and either take Shadow of the Colossus, which resets the cooldown of Colossus Smash with Charge, which is really nice. But I think Pain Train, especially for melee cleaves, is so good. Just because it grants crit to everybody within 10 yards of you. So if you're playing like TSU with the Holy Paladin, and your Holy Paladin is stacked right on top of you and doing damage, and you all are guaranteed crits, that's kind of a big deal. But more than that even, it reduces the cooldown of Battle Cry by 15 seconds. So with this, you can either play a Focused Rage Anger Management build and have Battle Cry up like every 20 seconds or 30 seconds for everybody, or you can just stick with what you've been doing, go Opportunity Strikes and Mortal Combo, and have that. Or you can even do Mortal Combo Anger Management if you really wanted to, but Opportunity Strikes is really nice. But either way, this reduces the cooldown of Battle Cry, makes everybody around you crit if you want to use it. So I think this might actually be my favorite talent, even over Shadow of the Colossus. But we'll see. We'll have to experiment with that. At this talent tier, they're all pretty good. AoE Mortal Strike effect is really, really nice for BGs and things like that, where it's going to make it even harder for healers to heal through, you know, a big pack of damage. Sharpened Blade is still cool. It's, you know, I've heard it even described, like, when I was watching Soda Pop and Chance's stream, and he was describing this almost like a stun, because, and that makes sense. For the next 4 seconds, healing is reduced on your target by 70%, which basically means if you're training a healer, their heals are doing nothing for the next 4 seconds. And with the amount of CC that's in the game, there's less CC than before, but the CC that you do have matters more almost. So a stun into a silence into a 70% reduced healing, a healer's going to have a whole lot of like difficulty healing through that. Not to mention, you're also dealing more damage with your Mortal Strike too, so that used to stack really nicely with a Focused Rage build, as you might be able to imagine. That got nerfed, probably still does a lot of damage, but you can think of this not only just as extra damage, but also kind of like a CC on a healer, if you're training a healer at least. It's still, I mean, 70% reduced healing taken on anything is a big deal, but especially if you're training a healer, you know, you can think of that almost as a crowd control effect. I like the way Chance was describing that. But Echo Slam, If you don't know which talent to pick Echo Slam, because this thing shreds butts more than anything. Especially as we were talking about those the resetting of Colossus Smash with not only just Deadly Calm, but just in general, but definitely Deadly Calm during your burst. This is going to make, obviously this is going to synergize with everything that you want to do when it comes to Colossus Smash. You want to press Colossus Smash when you can in PvP, basically. In PvE, there's different thinking, whether you want to just let the full window of Colossus Smash go and then use it whenever you have to use it, or use it every single proc, no matter what. I think this talent makes you want to use Colossus Smash every single time it's up, because it makes your Colossus Smash deal an extra 10% of the target's total health and damage 2.5 seconds later. This is insane. It's a tank killer. It's an everything killer. An awesome talent. So the build that I would probably use myself, I don't have the talents obviously, would probably look something for my orc, would probably look something like this: Relentless, Sparring, Death Sentence, Rage Machine, Pain Train, Echo Slam. But like I said, whenever I make these kind of talent pick guides, it's hard for me to just tell you, okay, this is the build to take, because there are a lot of different situations where you might want to change these things up. And I think the best thing to do is have you understand the talents, understand their strengths, and make the choices that you think fit the situation the best. But in terms of my general builds, that's kind of the PvP build that I would use, what I just described. For PvE, I like a Dauntless, either Double Time Shockwave, Avatar Second Wind, or Bounding Shrine for raids maybe. Focused Rage, Deadly Calm, Anger Management. For PvP, I like the Opportunity Strikes, Mortal Combo, Overpower, Defensive Stance, this kind of thing. That's what I prefer for PvP. But anyways, guys, I'm not gonna make this into a full-on macros video, because I've already made my macros videos. In terms of actual gameplay, we'll be bringing you plenty of that. In terms of rotations, there are plenty of videos that I plan to make and have made already for obviously for PvE rotation, things like that. Watch the dungeon videos. Hopefully they're enjoyable to watch, but also hopefully they can provide you with an idea okay, so in this situation he's not slamming as much, he's just waiting for focused rage. When he has a lot of rage, I'm slamming a little more often. But the main idea there is to try to get as many 3-stacked Mortal Strikes with Colossus Smash up as possible. However you can best do that, that's the way to do it. In practice, and you'll get better, you'll optimize your rotation, you'll do more damage. For PvP, the idea is obviously maintain as much uptime as you can, try to burst in stuns, unleash your burst with the burst macros that I showed you guys, trying to Colossus Smash whenever you can, obviously Mortal Strike whenever you can. During Deadly Call, make sure you're hamstringing as much as possible for those resets. Plenty more videos on the way. Just wanted to knock out, I say quick, and I don't know how long I've been talking, because I always tend to give you guys as much information as I possibly can about talents and artifact stuff, but hopefully that helped. I know a lot of people are asking. Hope you guys are having fun with Legion. I know I sure am. Definitely make sure you guys show this video some love in the likes and the comments if you enjoyed it. Swing by the stream if you guys want to see more gameplay, and obviously plenty more BGs, dungeons, raids, arena coming on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!